You've probably heard of the Stanley tumbler. At one point, they were everywhere, and in 2023, at the height of their craze, they made over $750 million on selling this product. But today on Amazon, they're actually only second place. See, the top bestseller in their category is a brand that you've probably never even heard of. The brand is named Owala. And Owala is beating a brand like Stanley Tumbler because they understand how Amazon shoppers actually shop. And that is less than 20% of shoppers on Amazon scroll past the first 3 images on a listing. So what that means is you need to make the biggest impact in those first 3 images. In this video, I'm going to give you the requirements and framework that you can apply to the first 3 images of your listing to dramatically boost your click-through rate and conversion rate. So you don't find yourself in the trap that even a brand like Stanley can find themselves in. My name is Zane, I'm from SellerMetrics. We spend over $3 million a month scaling businesses profitably on Amazon through PPC. So over the past week, I actually attended this event called Aspicon, where the top sellers on Amazon are invited to talk about what is working for them and their brand on Amazon today. So it's very up-to-date knowledge. And over the course of the next few videos, I'm going to distill the best pieces of information to you for free on this channel. So make sure you like and subscribe. So in this particular video, we're going to go over 3 major concepts. First, I'm going to go over the framework that's required for the first 3 images of the listing. 2, I'm going to give you examples of those frameworks actually in practice, so you know I'm not just kind of theory crafting here. And 3, I'm going to go over a real life application of that framework on my listing. I have yet to update my listing from this knowledge, but I'm going to show it to you as I do it live. Okay, so I've boiled down the requirements of the first 3 images into the following framework: intrigue, interest, and invest. The first image is all about driving the click-through rate, driving that intrigue. See, intrigue is generating curiosity in the shopper. That curiosity is an open loop of thoughts that makes them wonder more about the product and actually click the product and see more of the images and the listing itself. And honestly, the best way to do this starts actually in R&D, where you have a product that is differentiated from what's available on the market today. And the image must show that differentiation. So let's go into Amazon.com and show you this in practice. So if we go to the category of insulated beverage containers, the best seller is this Owala cup, as I had mentioned, right? Now, they're obviously after the sponsored brands. The sponsored ads are paid to be at the top, but this is not paid. It's just naturally there. And then second to them is Stanley. But let's scroll out a bit. Let's zoom out a little bit, okay? As you can see, a lot of these products are the same thing, meaning that they are they're a tumbler that has a straw. This one has a straw, that's Stanley. This other brand also has a straw. Let's see what else we got. This one has a straw, this one has a straw, this one has a straw. So already the top brands are all effectively the same thing, a little bit of a different design, of course, but at the end of the day, they do the same thing. Then you have this one. Okay, it doesn't have a straw, and that differentiation is more than just the way it looks. It's actually its purpose and function. So let's say you're going to the gym or to a hiking trail, right? I personally, and I think a lot of people would agree with me on this, wouldn't want a straw-based tumbler because I don't want the straw, something I put my mouth on, exposed to the elements. That'd be a little gross. So that differentiation is very important in the category of insulated beverage containers. I'm not saying it's better, it's just that the differentiation is relevant to a different group of customers for a different use case. And that is all what a differentiation is about. So what this does is it shows that too. Notice the angle of this first image, okay? It very explicitly shows where you would be drinking from and shows that it does not have a straw. So now that you have their curiosity, you've got the click, your next job, your second image, is to drive interest. So as mentioned, the second image job is to drive emotional investment. That is the interest. The main thing here is to enable the customer to imagine how much value that this product would add to their own life. And you do this by showing the feature benefit, but emphasis on the benefit, because benefit is really what shows the value that this product has to the customer's life. So I will go into the example that we've already been talking about, the Owala versus the Stanley Cup, and show how Owala is doing it so much better than the Stanley Cup. So if I go to Owala, they didn't exactly order the products in pictures in the way I suggest, but the concept is still the same. So this is the third image, okay? As you can see here, it's a very clean image of the product, of where it would be being used. And then they have 2 benefits, right? They say swig and they say sip. So one is like a big gulp of whatever liquid's in there, probably water. And then another benefit is they can take a small sip if they want, depending on what they're doing, right? If you're going on a run, you probably want smaller sips. Let's go to the Stanley Cup. So the Stanley Cup second image is this thing, and the third image is this thing, okay? And this is the first image, okay? So the second image is this overhead view, what looks to be the overhead view of the cup. This doesn't really do anything for me. or any consumer really, okay? We already have a image of the cup in the main image, and the overhead view, what does it really show? And it also shows the straw kind of like across the image at the bottom here, but it looks almost blended into the background. Honestly, this is driving no emotional investment. This is showing me nothing of value about the product that hasn't already been shown on the main image. So they're not doing a very good job getting an emotional investment from the consumer at all. So right away, I can tell you that this image sucks, even though Stanley is such a powerful brand. Matter of fact, if Stanley wasn't a powerful brand, I think this image would lose a lot of customer attention. And so always follow the interest, emotional investment kind of framework by showing the benefit of the product in the main image, just like Owala is doing here. So now we have their interest and their attention. Now we need their investment. Investment is all about actually implanting the product in the person's life. And it's actually a lot simpler than you think to do this. All you have to show them is the size and scale of the product, because that gives them a reference point to see how it fits into their life. It's really simple. All you need to show is how big the product is. And if we go into Owala's listing here that we were just talking about, as you can see here, they show in the second image the literal size and scale of the product. Now, granted, I think Owala could have done this even better. They could have done this via lifestyle images with a referenceable product near their water bottle. So they need a reference point of understanding how big 10.68 inches actually is. For example, I have this water bottle, right? Now, I don't know how big this is, but if I put it next to my phone, now you know. You have a reference point of like, okay, the water bottle is about that big. And that's what the investment is all about, getting them to really imagine it in their life. And that is enough to really get a sale, honestly, especially if it's a non-technical product like a water bottle, right? Obviously, if you are selling something technical like headphones or computer parts, then they need to read the bullet points to really see what the technical features of the product are. But in the case of something like a water bottle, there's no real technicality to it, right? Now, in contrast, let's look at Stanley. So Stanley's third cup is literally this. Okay, first three images. And the third image is literally just showing the product from a different view, but with no detail on it whatsoever. I don't need this information. It's not showing any more information that the first two pictures haven't already. There's no value in this image whatsoever. They have more details in the images after that. As you can see, they show the size and scale and all that stuff. But like we said, less than 20% of people actually go to the fourth image and beyond. And so they're missing out on a lot of sales with these poor optimized first three images. And that's that, guys. That is the framework for the first three image. So just to go over in summary is intrigue, open a curiosity loop that makes them click the listing, followed by interest, which is emotional investment into the product and seeing how it would benefit their life. And finally, invest, actually taking the product and giving them a implanted image of using the product in their life, and easy and simply by showing the size and scale of the product. Now, I did say that I would show you how I implement this framework into my product, into a real listing. The product hasn't been launched yet, so I have a lot of time to kind of play around with my listing. But just to show you guys, this is my current listing. Obviously, no one can access it right now because the product hasn't launched, but it will be launched next week. This is the listing, right? This is the main image, which I think is already done. I'm not going to change anything here. And then this is the second two images. Now, I've already made the mistake prior to this knowledge that the second images, while they're fancy lifestyle images, they're not really showing any informations or details that any other image isn't already. So we're going to change that, obviously. Let's start with the first image, okay? The first framework was intrigue, drive curiosity with a product differentiation and an image that shows that differentiation. So as you can see, a lot of these products are exactly the same, right? Now, with the exception of the products that are completely different, right? So a leather watch roll is different from all these 6-slot watch cases, which is what I'm selling. So the only really differentiated one I would say is this guy right here, Home in Hatfield. They have a beautiful design that is different from all the others. This product, Expert City and Case Elegance and Pro Case, they're all effectively the same thing, just a different color. Now let's look at my image. My image pops a lot more. It has the product packaging in the image. It's got a tilted display with elevated pillows. So that alone is kind of a differentiation where it emphasizes a display case rather than a storage case. The intrigue part, at least, is built in. Now let's go to the second image, which I don't think currently my listing is doing a very good job of. So it's a lifestyle image, but you know, it is kind of showing the product in the wild, but it's not really showing the actual benefit in full detail. And like I said, the second image is all about driving interest and emotional investment. So how do we do that? We do that with feature benefit. And how I've actually done that is actually created a feature benefit image. So the exact same image, but in a different capacity. So let's look at this one right here. This time I took a lifestyle image, but I added the feature benefit. I added the feature in small text at the top of the line, and then the benefit right underneath it. I'm going to do a bunch of A/B tests because there's a few features in here that I could mention. For example, the golden hinges. I know what that got a lot of compliments from a lot of different people, but that's just an example of how I would A/B test different features and benefits to the consumer. But nonetheless, I would now replace this image and put this in place of this image. And it shows a lot more, right? This is the feature benefit. I'm trying to get emotional investment, really show my consumer what they get out of this product and how it would benefit their life. And obviously the lifestyle image in and of itself does a lot of work to show it actually being used in their home. And finally, we have third image. This is what it is currently, but we need to show the size and scale. So instead of this that I have here, I would do this image right here. It shows the size of the product and by showing the dimensions and the pillows that are involved in it and the dimensions as well, plus what kind of watches it works with. So it fits dial sizes up to 48 millimeters, which is actually an important feature because people have different size watches and they want to make sure that their watch fits in this box. That is kind of really adding the size and scale of the product into the image and making sure that the person can implant this product into the mind of the consumer and they can actually envision themselves using it. But that's it, guys. Now that I have these first three images, all that's left is actually to use PPC to get this product and the main image in front of the customer's eyeballs, right? And that's what PPC is all about. I've already done a lot of videos on how I would run my launch PPC campaigns. You can check out our channel to learn more about how to set up your own PPC launch campaigns for your brand. If you want to learn more about PPC, you can actually learn more about it all in this book that we have written. It is the Ultimate Guide to Amazon Ads, Advanced Tactics, and Best Practices. In it, you will learn how to set up PPC campaigns, how to do keyword research, how to optimize your PPC campaigns, run your bids, placement strategies, and so much more. And you can get it completely for free in the link in the description below. But for now, I hope that was helpful and that you enjoyed this video and that it was helpful for you. Remember, even brands like Stanley, who are huge, tons of capital, can have listings that don't convert and become second best on Amazon, where they could easily beat that brand that no one's ever heard of if they really tried, but they're not optimizing their listings. I don't want you guys to go through that. So optimize your listings, get the highest click-through rate that you can and the best conversion rate so you can make that profit. If you're an Amazon seller that wants to grow your Amazon profits, schedule a discovery call in the link below. We are an Amazon agency that helps our clients grow their revenue and their profits and optimize their PPC. But until next time, guys, have a great day.